to identify the numbers which are perfect square numbers. We will not find the actual square, but we will be able to identify whether those numbers are perfect squares or not. So first of all, when we tell about square numbers, suppose I write 2 to the power 2. So this is read as 2 square. So that means that particular number is multiplied 2 times. Square means the same number multiplication happens 2 times. So 2 square gives me 4. So 4 is a perfect square number, right? So like that, if I just start writing from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So let us quickly glance through the square of these numbers. So 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, 6 square is 36, 7 square is 49, 8 square is 64 and 9 square is 81. Okay? So this I guess everybody knows, but what is important to note here is to find a correlation, is to find a pattern in these numbers. So do you see here the number 1 and 9? The square of both these numbers, they have 1 in the units place. So 1 and 9, they have 1 in the unit place. So 1 square is 1, 9 square is 81. Both of these numbers, they have 1 as the digit in their units place. Next, for 2 and 8, you see again 2 square is 4, 8 square is 64. So the digit which we have in the units place is 4. So for 2 and 8, the digit in the units place is 4. Likewise, for 3 and 7, the digit in the units place is 9. Similarly, for 4 and 6, the digit which is in the units place is 6. And the one which is left over is 5. So whenever you see any number which has got 5 in the units place, or it is ending with 5, always remember the last 2 digit of that number will be 25. Okay, so that's the overall trick so far. So any number which ends with 1 and 9 will have the square which will have 1 as the digit in units place. Any number which ends with 2 and 8, that will have square whose digit in the units place is 4. For 3 and 7 combination it's 9. For 4 and 6 the combination, that is the square, will end with 6. And for 5, any number which ends with 5 always will have 25 in the end. Okay, so as you see, what are the possible combinations we have? 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. So any number which ends with 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9, they will be perfect square numbers. So what are we left with? 2, 3, 7 and 8. Any numbers which are ending with these digits, they will not be perfect squares. Okay, so this is the rule number 1, which says that any number which will end with 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9, they are perfect square numbers. Okay, so this is the rule 1. Now next move on to the rule number 2. So what is the rule number 2 saying? The rule number 2 says that if the sum of the digits in a number, if it is ending with 1, 4, 7 or 9, then it will be a perfect square. For example, so let us take the number 263. Okay, so here the example 263. So the rule 1 says that you have to check the last digit of the number. So the last digit is 3. So it's 3. So here we can clearly see that it is not a perfect square. So I don't have to go to the rule number 2. But now let us check for 361. Okay. So now we see that here the end digit is 1. So it is satisfying my rule number 1. So it might be a perfect square number. So now when we have checked the rule number 1, let's move on to the rule number 2. Now let's check the sum of the digits. So if we see the sum of the digits, 3 plus 6 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. But we'll go on adding till we get a single digit. So 1 plus 0, that gives me 1. So the final sum of the digits is 1. So if we see from the rule number 2, if the sum of the digits is 1, then it is a perfect square number. So 361 is a perfect square number. So let us give one more shot with some other example. Let's see for 371. So here, as per the rule number 1, it's ending with 1. So this might be a perfect square number. Okay. So next we have to check with the rule number 2. What is the sum of the digits? 3 plus 7, 10, 10 plus 1, 11. So 11. So again we have to add. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So the sum of the digits is 2, which is not satisfying the rule number 2. That means 371 is not a perfect square number. Okay. So these two rules are enough to find whether a particular number is a perfect square number or not. So this trick will work for 99.9%, except some of the cases. There are certain exceptions to it, but most of the times this trick will be working. So you will pick up any number and try to apply these two rules and check whether this particular given number is perfect square number or not. So when there are multiple choice questions saying that you pick the number which is a perfect square number out of 4 options, so you don't have to go by the factorization method or any other method. Just simply by looking at the numbers in fraction of seconds, you'll be able to tell whether the number is a perfect square number or not. So thank you very much. Hope this video clarifies on this particular topic of perfect square numbers.